This video is for Scratch Project Assignment 2, adding an enemy sprite and adding variables. First, go to scratch.mit.edu, click Sign In, put in your username, password with no@hanoverstudents.org, click on Sign In. Then you're going to click on the folder in the top right corner and you'll see the name of your work here. You're going to click on the See Inside button. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to add an enemy sprite. So our first option is to add an enemy from the library. So in order to do that, what you're going to do is click on the guy with the big hair next to New Sprite, and then you would click on whatever you want your enemy to be. So for example, I'm going to click on the bat and then click on OK. Anyway, so that's the first way to get an enemy. Then the second way to get an enemy is if we get an enemy from Google. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to open up a new tab, and then we're going to type in what we want for our enemy, and then click on Images. Next, you're going to click on Search Tools, click on Color, and click on Transparent. And then what we're going to do is click on the one that we want, and then we're going to put our pointer on it, two-finger click on the touchpad, choose Save Image As. And then we just want to make sure that it has a name that makes sense, like for example Plankton, and then click on Save. Next, we're going to click back over to Scratch and click on the folder next to New Sprite. And then you should see your new enemy. Click on the name of your enemy, click on Open. And then the last thing we're going to do is shrink them. So you click on the shrink button, which is next to the question mark at the top. Put your pointer on the actual sprite itself and just keep clicking until you get him at the size that you want him to be. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to start programming him. So we're just going to click and drag him where we want him to start. So let's say I want him to fly in from the top left corner. I'm just going to put him over there. Then I'm going to click on the Events menu, click and drag when flag clicked. That's how we always start any of our programming. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to click on Motion. And then we're going to click and drag the Point and Direction button to go over to the when flag clicked, and then we're going to just scroll down a little bit and find the Set Rotation Style. Put that under the Point and Direction, and then we're going to click Go To, which is right here, go to XY, and it's already programmed to make our character go to that top left corner where we just positioned him. Then the last thing we're going to do is where it says Point and Direction, we're going to click on the little drop down arrow, and you have the kind of some different options if you want them to move right, left, up, down. We're actually going to do 45 because that means he's going to move diagonally. So it's kind of 45 is halfway between up and right, so he's going to move diagonally to the right. Anyway, next what we're going to do is we're going to add a speed variable. Click on Data. And then we're going to click on Make a Variable, and we're going to title it Speed. Click OK. Next, what we're going to do is click and drag the Set Speed block, and we're going to change it so that it's not 0. We'll change it to maybe 20 or so. Next, what we're going to do is add a forever block and a repeat block. You're going to find those in Control. So we're going to click Control, click and drag forever. And then we're going to click and drag the repeat until. Make sure it's the repeat until, that's very important. Next, what we're going to do, make sure that goes inside the forever block too. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to add motion blocks. So we're going to click on Motion and click and drag the Move 10 steps to go inside the repeat block. And then we're also going to scroll down just a little bit, and we're going to find the If on Edge Bounce. That's going to make it so that he doesn't go off the screen. And we're going to put that under the Move 10 steps. Next, what we're going to do is add a speed variable so that instead of saying move 10 steps, it'll say move speed steps. And as the speed changes, as the levels get harder, which we're going to do in another lesson, we won't have to change anything. So you're going to click on data, click and drag the speed block to go inside where it said 10 before. Then what you're going to do is you're going to add health to our character. So we're going to click back on our main character, and then we're going to click on make a variable. This one we're going to title health, and then click OK. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to click and drag the set health block, and you're going to see that right here. You're going to click and drag that to go underneath the when flag clicked. And instead of setting our health to 0, we're going to start maybe at 50. So we'll hit 50. Then what we're going to do next is we're going to add an if block to make our character lose health if you touch the enemy. So you're going to click on Control, click and drag an if block to go underneath the last if block. Then what you're going to do is add a sensing block so that if he senses that he's touching the enemy, he'll lose health. So click and drag the touching block, put it in that little space in the if block, click on the drop down arrow and choose your enemy character. So Plankton's our enemy. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to add a change health block. So we're going to click on data and click and drag the change health by 1 to go inside the if block, but we don't want to actually add health if we're touching the enemy. We want to subtract. So for example, I'm just going to type -1. Next, what you're going to do is make the game end if your health equals 0. So we're going to click on Control, add another if block, put it under the last if block. Then what we're going to do is click and drag the stop all block to go inside that new if block. And then what we'll do next is add an operator. Click on operators. You're going to click and drag the one with the equal sign to go in this little hexagon space. And then finally what we're going to do is make it say if health equals 0, stop all. So you're going to click on data and click and drag the health to go in the first blank. Type in a 0 in the second blank right here. And then the last thing we can do is click on our green flag to test out our game. So now, whoa, we've got to avoid our enemy. Notice our health goes down when you're touching the enemy. If you get to 0 health, then the game is over. And that's it.